We see the pivot into Shadow Drapion to greet this Azumeril. Most Drapions running Crunch and Aqua Tail, the opponent very unlikely to shield the first move, as Crunch comes with a 30% chance to debuff the opponent's defense. However, if this opponent don't know, this Drapion's running Sludge Bomb. They're about to find out. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a very fun battle submission from a good friend and local of mine, believe it or not, Alpha Club Y2K. Today we're going to be showcasing an ABB double poison strategy. Greninja will be covering that double weakness to ground, and our two poison types in the back both have a little surprise nuke up their sleeve. First, let's talk about Sludge Bomb Drapion. Since Aqua Tail got buffed, around 95% of Drapion are running the cheaper Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail does give you some nice coverage, but without the same type attack bonus, it's a pretty poor move. When you're running the standard moveset of Aqua Tail and Crunch, there's certain Pokemon in this meta that despite having a decent typing into, you are fully walled. Azumeril, yes buddy, I'm talking about you. There's also stuff like Greninja, Guzzlord and Whimsicott, all that would fully wall you. Not only does Sludge Bomb provide great coverage into this, it also helps you flip matchups like the ever annoying Mandibizz, and it gives you the ability to one-shot fairies such as Alolan Ninetales or Wigglytuff respectively. Alpha Club today is giving us that buy one, get one free on surprise nukes. Our second poison type is going to be Galrian Weezing. Whenever I see a Weezing, I'm always thinking, is it going to be play rough? Is it going to be overheat? Well, in Alpha Club's case, it's neither, as we are running that Hail Mary Hyper Beam. Need I say any more? Without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game one, we see the battle of the dark types. Alpha Club leads his Greninja into Umbreon. This Umbreon's actually running Feint Attack. I definitely recommend Snarl. However, for those of you that wonder the count on Feint Attack, it's going to be 8 to the first foul play and 7 to the second. We see the pivot into Drapion. The opponent, despite seeing us come in, opt to throw the foul play regardless, then send out their own Galarian Weezing. Alpha Club fires off the Sludge Bomb. It looks like he's toggling around with his Wi-Fi settings. To my surprise, the opponent invests that Protect Shield, but Drapion says there's plenty more of where that came from. The second Sludge Bomb, despite only being neutral, lands for so much damage. The opponent will need to reveal their nuke move to secure the knockout, and they fire off the play rough that goes unshielded. Alpha Club now going to send back out Greninja, throw one Water Shrieking and the Night Slash, and go fishing for that boost. Night Slash goes unshielded, and of course we don't get the boost. However, Alpha Club has managed to obtain himself a shield advantage, and out comes Toxapex. Oh boy. Toxapex definitely not what Greninja wants to see, especially without getting some RNG luck, getting the boost. Alpha Club gonna fire off Night Slash after Night Slash. Come on game, give us the boost. I was actually watching Home Slice Henry stream the other day. He was using Greninja into Toxapex, and he was of the belief that Hydro Cannon would do more raw damage in this matchup. Not only does it not do more raw damage, of course it doesn't come with that chance of getting the boost. Night Slash and Hydro Cannon both do exactly 21.1%, so if you're stuck in this matchup, just spam them Night Slashes and pray to them RNG gods. Alpha Club pivots into Weezy, tanks the Sludge Wave. Oh boy, he looked to call the bait. Unfortunately, the opponent was not baiting, and we're going to be off to a 0-1 start. GG's to that opponent. In the next battle, we see the mirror lead. Both trainers going to farm up. We've got the shiny, so of course we're going to do more damage. I'm just kidding, that's a myth. But wouldn't it be nice if that was actually the case? Alpha Club tanked the Hydro Cannon before returning fire with his own Hydro Cannon, and this is going to come down to a charge attack priority. The shiny Greninja might not actually do more damage, but in this scenario we do have the higher attack and we're able to win lead. We see Alpha Club spamming the switch, pivoting out into Drapion. The opponent temporarily brought out, I believe, their own Drapion. It could possibly be a Skunk Tank or a Quillfish. I saw the Dark Poison typing, but I couldn't actually see what come in. The opponent then sent out Marowak, which is a pretty questionable decision, as Marowak will be investing Protect Shield, blocking up these incoming crunches. Alpha Club fires off the next crunch, removing Marowak from the field of play. It now makes sense why I couldn't see what come in, as it is a very small Hisuian Quillfish. Interestingly enough, the opponent threw the Dark Pulse, probably revealing they don't have Aqua Tail. So I wonder what their second move is. Potentially Ice Beam or even Shadow Ball. Or, what would make even more sense is, much like us, they're going a Dark Poison type that doesn't lose to Fairies, and they've also got Sludge Bomb. All will be revealed soon. Alpha Club invest that Protect Shield. Let's go. They do indeed have Sludge Bomb. You love to see it. Alpha Club gonna fire off the Brutal Swing. The opponent looks to call the bait, but Alpha Club just gonna spam out these Brutal Swings. After Brutal Swings, the opponent invests that Protect Shield. Galarian Weezing just far too spammy, able to outpace, fire off the next Brutal Swing, and we take that game. Huge shout out to that opponent. I bet the Sludge Bomb Quillfish is catching them Azumerils sleeping. In the next battle, we see a fantastic lead. The opponent pivots out into Mandibizz, trying to make a Night/Catch. Alpha Club shows great composure, holds his energy, fires off the Hydro Cannon. We then see the pivot into Galarian Weezing, trying to make a catch of our own. The catch is unsuccessful. However, Galarian Weezing not too phased by this matchup. You can see we can tank 2 aerial aces, and we're not really in danger of getting Snarl farmed down. I'm quite surprised to see Alpha Club invest a Protect Shield here, and he is going to need to full send a Hyper Beam to knock out. Despite Mandibizz being in the red, a non-stab Brutal Swing will not be lethal. Perhaps we can Brutal Swing and farm down, or at least we better hope so, because if we're forced to double shield, we're going to be in a very tough situation. We do fire off the Brutal Swing and get that farm down. The opponent sends back out Alolan Marowak. The Brutal Swing goes unshielded. Alpha Club already doubled up. This next one won't be lethal, but likely does force that Protect Shield. The opponent doesn't want to lose all their energy. We send back out Greninja. Greninja looks for the kill shot with the Hydro Cannon. The opponent just lets go of Marowak. The opponent's final Pokemon is Azumeril, and here comes Drapion. The opponent very unlikely to shield the first move, as almost all Drapion are on crunch, as their bread and butter move, and Aqua Tail is that cheap spammy charge move. So Azumeril likely doesn't shield this, in case they get debuffed by the first crunch, meaning the second would do more damage. While Surprise Trainer, eat the Sludge Bomb to the face. The opponent wasn't ready for the damage. They can save that shield for next season, and they concede the match. GG's, and thanks for playing. In the next battle, we see some very nice spies from the opponent, and a god-awful lead for us. Alpha Club throws one Water Shriek and pivots into Galarian Weezing. At worst, this is a cross poison that will hit for neutral. The opponent actually fire off the X-Scissor, then send out Mandibizz Trainer. That is not a good response to any fairy type whatsoever. Alpha Club fires off the Hyper Beam. Holy cow, that did so much damage. Much like the previous battle, this Brutal Swing won't be lethal, but would have enabled us to farm down. The opponent actually invest the Protect Shield. We're still outside of Aerial Ace range, so I agree with this no shield. The opponent fire off the Aerial Ace, opt to throw back to back, but at this point Alpha Club can just match Protect Shield and get that full Fairy Wind farm down. Galarian Weezing takes back switch advantage. If Parasect does return, we might even be able to reach a Hyper Beam. What the hell is that animation? No shot. Oh boy, that is a Rock Smash Azumeril. I don't really know what to say other than please don't run Rock Smash. Well, I'll actually say don't run Azumeril ever, because it is very slow, very bulky and boring. But if you are a basic meta bitch, at least run the right moveset. Parasect re-enters the arena. Alpha Club goes for the massive overkill Sludge Bomb, forcing the opponent's final Protect Shield. We're then able to outpace to the crunch. Crunch easily secures the knockout. Azumeril temporary returns and then very quickly runs for the hills. In the next battle, we see Charger Bug in the lead. We throw one Water Shriek and Say Switch into Drapion. In this situation, I personally wouldn't have thrown the Water Shriek in, as we already take the Volt Switch damage, and if we go straight to Drapion, we're actually able to outpace to the crunch, getting off some very valuable chip damage on that Charger Bug. However, I guess it's always nice to farm some energy with Greninja. The opponent then sends out Clodsire. This is a matchup where having Aqua Tail would be advantageous, but you can see 2 crunches would still do around the same amount of damage, and if you're just going to look to play with Zero Shield, it's not really any big loss. This Clodsire opting for Mud Shot, which does make sense in this meta, as there's a lot of things weak to ground. But what it also means is with the defense drop, Greninja can come in, get a massive Water Shriek and farm down before they're able to reach another charge move. That matchup in the opening that wasn't all that advantageous now becomes very tasty for the super spammy Frog. We land the Hydro Cannon, we then go straight for the Night Slash, removing Charger Bug from the field of play. Out comes Levani. Levani would resist this Hydro Cannon, but it's an insanely glassy Pokemon. It would hit for a lot of damage. The opponent invests their first Protect Shield, and we send out Weezing. Due to Weezing's Poison Fairy typing, we're going to fully wall the standard moveset of X-Scissor and Leaf Blade. We have got 2 Protect Shields. We shielded the first one. The second Leaf Blade, despite being a very busted move, simply doesn't get the job done. We YOLO the Hyper Beam lands through the Protect Shield, and we take that game. In the next battle, we see Golurk in the lead. In theory, a nice lead for us, although the opponent can just fully Mud Slap us down if they are willing to invest Protect Shield. The opponent Say switches into Primarina, and we answer with Drapion. Drapion shields up the Hydro Cannon. We're going to farm up to the double Sludge Bomb, looking to take back switch or force the opponent all shields down. The opponent shields the first. Drapion able to reach the second, and ball is very much in the opponent's court. The opponent happy to double shield in the mid game, leaving Golurk with no Protect Shield too high behind. We now send in Weezing. The opponent then pivots back out into Golurk. We bank our energy, send back out Greninja. Greninja going to be picking up the knockout with the Hydro Cannon back out. Comes Primarina able to get that full tap, charm down, farm down. And it's all down to Weezing to clean up. Weezing going to shield up the incoming Hydro Cannon. Was that a Sparkle or a Hydro Cannon? I don't know, but regardless, we shielded it anyway. Out comes Drifblim. Drifblim going to get knocked out by 2 brutal swings. The first one gets him low, and the second one is going to be all she wrote with Alpha Club emerging victorious. GG's, and thanks for playing. I'm sure a lot of you know I shoutcast just off my mobile phone, and often it's hard to see what charge moves come through. In the next battle, we see Greninja into a Powder Snow variant of Alolan Ninetales. That was actually a pretty good lead for Greninja, but we do need to pivot as we are on an ABB team, so we see the save switch into Drapion, baiting out Mandibizz. This is one of them matchups where having Sludge Bomb comes in clutch. If you're on Aqua it's just such a miserable matchup. You need like 4 to knock out. Whereas with the poisons things, just 2 Sludge Bombs get the job done. Drapion able to force a Protect Shield here in the mid game. If Alpha Club's got good IVs, we're even going to reach another one as the opponent's going to be unable to snarl farm us down. Alpha Club tank the damage. I would like to see him throw that Sludge Bomb a bit sooner, so we didn't have to invest the Protect Shield. We're going to let him cook. Alpha Club shields up the Aerial Ace, throws 1 Poison Sting and the next Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb goes unshielded. Drapion cleanly wins the 1 shield. Back out comes Ninetales as we overfarm. We're able to reach 1 further Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb goes unshielded. Get that stupid Charmer off my screen. Out comes Drifblim, and you already know this game is signed, sealed and delivered. As excited as I was to see a Fairy type get completely boomed, I shouldn't have really called it a Charmer, as of course they are running the Powder Snow variant, but it's always nice to boom a Fairy whenever you can. The opponent playing the inevitable out, fire off the Icy Wind. Greninja withstands the damage, reaches 1 further Night Slash, and Weezy is going to get a very well deserved rest on the bench. GG's, and thanks for playing. Heading into the next battle, we'll lead Greninja into Nidoqueen. Darks and Poisons are normally paired up together, exactly like this opponent is, to be fair. We see Alpha Club bank a boatload of energy. Did we just catch an Acid Spray, making a savage Acid Spray catch onto our Drapion? Drapion gonna return fire with the Crunch. Crunch won't be lethal, but does do a lot of damage in this matchup. The opponent invests a Protect Shield, which means we can very easily match Protect Shield and look to get the opponent somewhat lower. The opponent go for another Acid Spray bait. Drapion just going to be spamming out these crunches at a very alarming rate after just 5 Poison Stings. Drapion able to get the defense drop. The opponent then themselves return the favour, making a very nice catch back onto Nidoqueen. However, Alpha Club has so much energy on Greninja. Greninja returns, fires off the Hydro Cannon, removing Nidoqueen from the field of play. Out comes Azumeril. Alpha Club going for the Night Slash, I assume fishing for the boost, as Hydro Cannon in this matchup does do more damage. The reason it doesn't against Toxapex is because they don't resist Dark, unlike this Fairy type. Alpha Club the second time fires off the Hydro Cannon. If this Azumeril commits to the bubble farm down, the super spammy frog might even reach 1 further move. My god, Greninja, you are just too spammy. It is such an annoying Pokemon to deal with. Azumeril ends up shielding when versing a Greninja, which is pretty crazy. We now send out Weezy. The opponent likely go for 1 further Acid Spray. This opponent is so horny for debuffs. Now we're in a tough spot. Scald will be lethal from this range. Last second we invest a Protect Shield and it's a good one. Alpha Club could spam the switch. Azumeril is at 100 energy. He's actually just going to opt to let Galarian Weezing go down. The opponent full send a Hyper Beam. Drapion comes in. Does it have enough HP to sting down? It does not. And we are going to take a heartbreaking loss. In the next battle, we see Wormadam trash in the lead. Perfect fast move time from Alpha Club there. 5 Water Shriekings and the charge move. That, of course, is our 15 turns into the opponent's 16 turns. Only giving away 1 free turn. He's then able to 1 and throw the next Hydro Cannon, forcing a protection. Then see the pivot into Weezy. I have no idea what this opponent's farming up to. Why are they not throwing a charge move? The opponent ends up double shielding, banking all their energy, and then sending out Stinky Binky. Surely I'm not the only person that thinks this thing looks like a butt plug. Unfortunately, we can only hit him for resisted with our charge move, but Hyper Beam, a very hard hitting move, still does some very solid chip damage. We then fire off the Brutal Swing, which definitely doesn't do very valuable chip damage. I think that actually healed the opponent. We send out Greninja with his 2 to no shield advantage. We shield at the Power Gem. If I was Alpha Club, I'd just look to get rid of this thing ASAP. We actually overfarm. It looks like we ended up playing to the CMPs. Our Hydro Cannon picks up the knockout. I'm anticipating Wormadam returning and looking to force our final protection. The opponent actually sends out their own shiny Greninja. Alpha Club must be running a very attack-weighted Pokemon. as he intentionally placed the CMP's eye. Oh, that's risky. The opponent fires off a Hydro Cannon, removing us from the field of play. Where does Alpha Club burn the final Protect Shield? Does a Hydro Cannon or Bug Buzz do more damage? I'm not sure, but I will look it up. We shield up the Hydro Cannon. Is Bug Buzz enough to knock us out? Drapion able to withstand the damage. Alpha Club looking for that double up on crunches, which he gets at very minimal HP. The first crunch removes Wormadam from the field of play, and Greninja very quickly gonna meet the same fate. GG's. So to answer my own question, Hydro Cannon does 65% to a Shadow Drapion, whereas Bug Buzz does around 63%, so we did shield the correct move. And good job we did, as we won that battle with very minimal HP. In the next battle, we see the Battle of Dark types, low ticks into our Greninja. Both X's and Trailblaze will both hit for super effective. These sucker punches in theory are resisted, but it doesn't really look like it. Greninja does have the pace and advantage in this matchup, although I don't really need to say that, as we pretty much outpace most things, as Greninja is so incredibly spammy. We then see the save switch into Galarian Weezing. The opponent makes a catch of the brutal swing onto Golurk. Golurk then gets Fairy Wind farm down. Alpha Club gets a cheeky screenshot for the road. What was that play from the opponent? I have no idea. They then send out their own Shadow Drapion. Trainer, why didn't you catch the resisted move rather than taking a super effective hit? Oh man, some of these battles are crazy and very hard to commentate at times. The opponent's play pattern has got me kind of bamboozled. I don't really know what's going on in this battle anymore. But it looks like Drapion's going to be tasked with clean-up duty. We need to be mindful that low tick still has a lot of banked energy. The opponent pivots back out into low ticks. I wouldn't shield this first move in case they go for a Trailblaze, then X-Scissor, looking to vamp up their attack. We do correctly no shield the first move. We can just shield this one up, Sting farm down, then when Drapion does return, both moves will be resisted, but Sludge Bomb will hit slightly harder. The opponent just going to concede the match, and we're going to pretend that didn't happen and move on to the next one. Or apparently we're not, as this opponent concedes. Alpha Club, I know you like to try and get me to laugh and just get in shambles, but come on buddy, you're killing me here. No, back-to-back top lefts. What on earth is going on? Alpha Club did tank in Little Cup, probably thanks to me to be honest. And the trenches really are the Wild West. This has got to be the most shambolic GBL video ever uploaded to YouTube, but we're going to put it out there anyway and move on to the next battle. Thankfully this Malamar doesn't run for the hill, and we're going to see some gameplay. Alpha Club fires off the Hydro Cannon, landing for some very nice chip damage. This is very much the bait game. Alpha Club looks to call the bait. Huge cojones on display. Alpha Club must wear shorts even in winter, because there's no way you'd fit them giant testicles in a pair of jeans. As if this video wasn't already in a shambolic enough position, I come out with commentary lines like that. Out comes Charger Bug, we fire off the Night Slash, then send out Weezy. The opponent's going to be forced to go for the less energy efficient discharge, as X-Scissor will be resisted. I don't know if that was a bait or the opponent just didn't know their typings. We see the Hyper Beam bank for the road and then pivot into Drapion. Are we going to land the Sludge Bomb through 2 Protect Shields? I certainly hope so. The opponent fires off the Play Rough. Come on Alpha Club, just YOLO it. Come on trainer, it's just a crunch, I promise. It's just a crunch. There's the boom. That's why you're on Sludge Bomb. Alpha Club still with 2 Protect Shields, 2 high behind. Finally going to invest one up here. Look for that Sting farm down. Back out comes Charger Bug. The opponent also has 2 Protect Shields. They shield up the crunch. They're kind of forced to shield everything at this point. Weezy has so much energy. We fire off the brutal swing. I think we're going to commit to the BM Hyper Beam. Come on Alpha Club. Just BM them with the Hyper Beam. Alpha Club does go for the massive overkill Hyper Beam to add yet another very strange play into today's video. Hyper Beam easily picks up the knockout, and we're going to move on to the next battle. Greninja into Clodsire. Oh man, what is going on? This one's definitely running Sludge Bomb as they spam the move on alignment, something I would not recommend doing. Of course, using a 2-turn move like Poison Sting into a 3-turn move like Water Shrieking, they should have thrown at 1, 4 or 7. Can you believe it? We're actually giving some actual top tips rather than just getting in a shambolic position. The opponent save switches into Azumeril. We answer with Drapion. Yet another Sludge Bomb goes unshielded. Alpha Club, recognising he can't get the Sting farm down before the next charge move is reached, fires off the crunch, removing Azumeril from the field of play. Out comes Malamar. Malamar looking for that Psywave farm down. Drapion like, nah, it's not happening, before we fire off a crunch. This is kind of tough. Weezy will be able to tank the charge moves, but not the Psywaves. And if we send out Greninja, we kind of find ourselves in the bait game. The opponent farmed up a boatload of energy. Please tell me we don't get hyper beamed. Thank God. I think if I got hyper beamed there, I would have just ended the video and probably just stopped commentating GBL altogether. Alpha Club ends up shielding the next foul play, commits to the full Fairy Wind farm down, and he is YOLOing the hyper beam at Clodsire. The opponent shows no respect. We send back out Greninja as the opponent's got 2 Protect Shields. I think we should just go for a Water Shriek and farm down. But it is what it is. Greninja's spammy enough to survive these Poison Stings and reach the 3 charge moves required to win this battle. But every time you throw a charge move, you do lose 10 seconds of your life. So I think Water Shriek and farm down would have ended the game quicker, but regardless, the result ends the same with us emerging victorious. In the next battle, we see the mirror. We've seen a few mirrors, and we've yet to see Alpha Club lose a charge attack priority. Once again, he farms up, winning the charge attack priority, and even obtaining himself an early shield advantage. I personally wouldn't shield here, as the opponent could go for a Night Slash the first time, but fish for the boost. You do need 2 moves to remove the opponent from the field of play. We pivot into Drapion, play to the CMP tie. We do not win. Thankfully, again, we do not get baited. So we invest a Protect Shield, and then YOLO our Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb gets no respect, picking up the 1-hit KO, and out comes Clodsire. Yes, I know a lot of people are going to say Aqua Tail would be super effective here, but without getting stabbed, it really doesn't do a lot whatsoever. Aqua Tail does do ever so slightly more. It does 33% to Clodsire, but you still need 3 moves to knock out. And as the opponent went for a Stone Edge bait, Drapion is going to reach the 3 moves required to remove Clodsire from the field of play. Unless, of course, the opponent shields. They could shield and commit to the Sting farm down. That is what the opponent does. We then pivot out into Greninja, not allowing the opponent to get any more farm. We invest to Protect Shield. However, I think we're going to get outpaced. Clodsire will be removing us from the field of play. Let's hope Weezing can just boom whatever's in the back with that Hyper Beam. Alpha Club waits out his clock before sending Weezy into the battlefield. The opponent pivots out into their own Galarian Weezing. This cannot be a Hyper Beam, as they haven't got the energy required. The opponent fire off the Play Rough, which is resisted. Weezy gonna easily win the mirror. Hyper Beam picks up that 1-hit KO when Clodsire does return. We're gonna be able to outpace to the Brutal Swing, and Weezy does indeed boom what's in the back, and we take that game. Heading into the next battle, lead Greninja into Azumeril. Not fantastic by any means. Alpha Club gonna look to stay in, bank the Hydro Cannon for the road before sending out Drapion. Oh boy. Are we going to flip switch with a Sludge Bomb? There's no Shock Greninja respect to damage. Alpha Club throws 4 Poison Stings. YOLO's the Sludge Bomb. Trainer is just a crunch. It's just a crunch. The opponent shows no respect. We take back switch and leave with so much residual energy. Out comes Clodsire. This is definitely a situation you don't want to throw a Sludge Bomb, as ground does resist poison. Not only that, poison also resists poison, so that is double resisted. However, the second time we do throw the crunch and get off some very valuable chip damage, certainly putting them into Hydro Cannon range. The opponent fires off the Earthquake, picking up the knockout. We send out Greninja. The opponent makes a very nice catch, the Night Slash onto Azumeril. We answer the Azumeril with our Galarian Weezing, and we are probably going to land a Hyper Beam, as let's be real, people just aren't respecting these nukes whatsoever. We tank the Ice Beam. I can't quite believe it, Azumeril actually able to outpace us to the next Ice Beam, as they did have residual energy. But regardless, we're YOLOing the Hyper Beam. Does the opponent respect the damage? No! I can't believe we saw an opponent shield. I don't agree with throwing this Brutal Swing here. I think you've got to commit to the Hyper Beam and look to force the energy. Alpha Club through the Brutal Swing, but unfortunately that will not put them into Hydro Cannon range. And this game is going to end in a loss. I'm not sure if committing would have forced them to throw, but you've got to always place your win con. GG's to that opponent. Heading into the final battle of today's shoutcast, we lead Greninja into Galarian Weezing. Alpha Club throws 1 Water Shriek and say switches into Drapion. The opponent is now going to be able to outpace to a potential Overheat or Play Rough. Alpha Club invests to Protect Shield, and it's a good one as it is the Overheat. The opponent then sends out Azumeril. Oh boy. Usually Azumeril will be a pretty good damage sponge for Drapion, but not when we're running Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb rocks them below half health. The opponent fires off the Ice Beam. You can see with even Poison Stung this into a range where even a Crunch will be lethal. Is the opponent going to make a play for fighting the switch? No, they're not. Crunch picks up the knockout. Back out comes Weezy. I'm not entirely sure why we're throwing a Crunch here. We had the Sludge Bomb off, and the opponent doesn't even shield. That kind of puts us in a very tough position. We've already seen the opponent's got overheat. If we would have landed the Sludge Bomb, they wouldn't have got their Alpha Club, then anticipates the switch, sends out Greninja, but Greninja down a Protect Shield, going to have a tough time of beating this Clodsire. We even get baited with a Sludge Bomb. Come on, Greninja. In Greninja, I believe. Alpha Club goes for his own bait, forcing a Protect Shield. Oh, but we don't get the boost. The opponent is bulky enough to survive a Hydro Cannon. Hydro Cannon rocks him low, but the opponent withstands the damage, but the super spammy frog still not done. Fires off the Night Slash, force the final Protect Shield. We finally get the boost, but we pivot back out into Weezing. We had a charger, we didn't opt to throw it. We actually catch the Earthquake. Back out comes Galarian Weezing. We're able to reach the Hydro Cannon on the CMP tie. Fucking hell, this is a roller coaster. Hydro Cannon picks up the knockout. Clodsire is very low, and I think we're just going to be able to Water Shriek and farm them down. The opponent has Rage Quit the app. Oh boy, that was crazy, but we're going to end the video there. Huge shout out to Alpha Club for bringing us an absolute roller coaster of emotions with a very fun battle submission featuring Sludge Bomb Drapion and Hyper Beam Galarian Weezing. It's kind of an ongoing joke now between my Discord community to submit battles that have me in absolute shambles, and it's safe to say, Alpha Club, you sir have succeeded. However, despite this, if you actually enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, or maybe if you'd like to see more shambolic GBL content, perhaps even subscribe, as this is pretty much kind of where my content goes on more or less a daily basis. If you'd like your battles featured on my channel, link to a battle submission form is down below. And as always, a huge thank you to everyone for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.